Welcome back to Mr. English Podcast, your go-to channel to learn English through real, emotional stories.
Today's story is intense, heartbreaking, and shocking. About betrayal, courage, and survival.
The story is called, My Dad Tried to Sell Me Off.
So listen carefully, because this story has a twist you will never forget.
My name is Lily. I'm 20 years old, living in a small town in Ohio. I always thought my family was normal, but I was wrong. My dad, he was a different man behind closed doors. He drank too much. He shouted at my mom. He had a temper that nobody could control. I thought I could handle it, until I overheard something that froze my blood. One evening, I was walking past his study. The door was slightly open. I heard him talking on the phone. He said, "Yeah, I can sell my daughter. She's young. She's obedient. Just need the money fast." I froze. My hands shook. My heart felt like it stopped. I couldn't breathe. My own father, trying to sell me like I was nothing, just a piece of property. I backed away silently, tears burning my eyes. I ran to my room and locked the door. I couldn't move. I couldn't think. For days, I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I kept thinking, how could someone I loved, my dad, betray me like this? I tried talking to my mom. She sat silently, shaking her head. "Lily, don't make him angry. Be careful," she whispered. I realized I had no choice. If I stayed, I could be sold. I had to escape. But how? I had no money, no car, and nowhere to go. I started secretly calling shelters and women's organizations. I learned there was a program in Cleveland for young women in danger. That became my hope. But my dad, he always watched. Every time I moved, every time I left the room, he was there. I had to plan carefully. One Friday night, he said casually, "Tomorrow, the man is coming. Make sure you are ready." I felt my chest tighten. I could hear my own heartbeat. I couldn't believe it. Tomorrow, my life could be gone. I couldn't sleep all night. I called my best friend Mia. She was scared but promised to help. We made a plan. I packed my bag quietly. I memorized every route, every street, every safe place. At 8 a.m. I left. I walked quietly, avoiding lights and cars. I reached a taxi and told the driver to go straight to Cleveland. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold my bag. When I arrived, the shelter welcomed me. They gave me a room, food, and safety. For the first time in weeks, I slept without fear. But life was not easy. I had to start over. I had no money, no contacts, no job. I felt small, scared, and alone. I started studying online, learning coding and graphic design. I worked part-time in a small cafe. Every penny counted. I learned to survive on my own. But sometimes I would cry at night. I would think about my mom. I wondered if she was safe, if she was being treated badly, if she even knew I escaped. Weeks later, I received a call from an unknown number. My hands froze. It was my dad. I panicked. My heart pounded. He said softly, "Lily, I know I did something unforgivable. I was desperate. I made the worst mistake of my life. I can't ask for your forgiveness, but I want you to know I will never touch you again." I froze. I didn't know whether to believe him or hang up. He continued, "I lost everything. My job, my debts. I thought money was more important than family. I was wrong. I realized too late. I hope you're safe." I felt a strange mix of relief and anger. I survived. I escaped. I was alive. That was what mattered. Here's what I want everyone listening to remember. No matter how hopeless a situation seems, there is always a way to survive. Courage in action can save your life. True strength comes from believing in yourself. People may betray you, even family, but survival and hope are stronger than fear. I rebuilt my life. I studied hard, found a better job, and started helping young women at shelters. I learned that even in the darkest moments, hope can shine if you take action. And I realized, surviving the betrayal of someone you love doesn't make you weak. It makes you powerful.
Wow. Lily's story is heartbreaking but also inspiring.
She shows us that courage and hope can save lives, even when family fails you.
Thank you for listening to Mr. English Podcast.
And don't forget,
If you felt this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.